the first song I wrote when I sat down to approach this text was When I Grow Up, which is not actually connected to the narrative, and it wasn't ever designed to be in the mouth of any particular character. And it was always in my head an Act 2 opener. And it was my way of finding my way into what I felt about childhood. It was like my doorway song. Mm-hmm. And it weirdly, or maybe not weirdly, works like that in the musical too. The first act's a lot narrative, setting up all the characters, and then the audience come back in, especially the adults, and get this sort of, it's more a colour and a feeling about what it was like to be a child and your aspirations. I remember, I think my in for that was, I remember saying to watching my parents, my granddad had a farm, and watching my parents when they approached a farm gate, unclip it, open it, walk through and close it behind them and clip it again. And I'd always just sort of leap over it. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to walk through gates. You should climb, gates of climbing, for jumping over. And that sort of aspiration, you think, well, when I'm older, I'll be able to climb bigger trees and eat more sweets and stay up really late. And that taps into something about children and what their aspirations are. It also taps into us as adults and reminds us of how grandly we've failed ourselves.
I love that moment. Miss Honey, she's saying, when I grow up, I'm going to do this. It's still just... Because
we all feel like we're still kids, and yet we've forgotten that we're meant to be climbing trees and waking up to watch the sun come up. But we've got wrapped up in the minutiae of adulthood sort of thing. So that link between the adult's relationship to the child within, I found again with When I Grow Up. And I also had a 2-year-old and a new one on the way. So I had started thinking, and was informed by the way Dennis wrote the script, obviously, but I think that the virtuosity of what the kids have to do on stage partly comes from me not distinguishing between childhood and adulthood for the purpose of this piece, of just going, no, they can speak in whatever language they need to speak in to get the ideas across. And I think having young children myself probably gave me another little opening into just having a baby just reminds you how innocent children are, and that's a huge part of our thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.